Well, having a change from Turbo CAD today, revisiting an old demolition job that I actually bought for £10. It's about 7 or 8 years ago. It's the Seacombe ferry landing stage where ferries go from Wallasey over to Liverpool there in the background. It's a bit of a hard luck story because the company went bust who I was doing the work for, and I wasn't involved at this stage. That's the new one going in. We just were to take receipt of the old one and dismantle it. You can see the bridge structures over there. The old one weighed about 3,000 tonne, and actually that Nielsen's the company who I was working for, or who my company was working for. Fairport are just engineers, no association. Interesting job nevertheless. Big old lump of iron, shops, aquariums on it, quite a few other things. These were temporary spots that were put in to keep the bridge sections, you can see there, and as the tide went down the old one popped out. That's still the new one there. These are all pictures of the new one going in, and these were the bridges down to the job. That's definitely the deck of the old one there, and as is that picture there, that's the old landing stage. It's a fair lump of a job for a enterprising young man. Must be old construction shots on it. That looks a bit similar to the old Mersey mammoth crane. That's a fair old lump. And of course I did a hub about the job. That was me. Can't remember the little guy's name. Ian, I think they called him. That's one of the pontoons that kept the whole thing afloat. There were 24 pontoons, quite a number of new ones. That's my old Cat 215, my 912 Liebherr, and in the background, interesting U534 German U-boat. Can't see the stern tubes there, but one of them was open to the sea when they got her up. We looked all over it for Nazi loot, but found nothing. And there's my old English Bull Terrier Benji. Regular pain in the neck. Did what he wanted when he wanted. That was just a rental machine we had an hire. LCT 7074, the last D-Day tank landing craft. Now sadly sunk. There's my old man with his boot on a bollard. The Planet Lightship's in the background there. U534 stern. And a Google Earth shot of the entire job. These are the pontoons. These at the back will have been selected for sale. You can see a bit darker colour there, a bit newer ones. And these are all sections that have been cut up, but I can't remember how many I sold, 16 I think. Them are new ones, you can still really see the black paint on them. And that blob there is my 40-ton crawler crane, which pulled all these pontoons out. We did actually put some caravans under there and set up camp for ages, but we did move up to a yard nearby. The old Cat 215 with a Allied concrete pulverizer on it. As you can see, that's a newish pontoon there. No, not too much corrosion. New ones had to be put under to keep her afloat. And if you've read before, I picked up the contract to convert this, what was a nightclub. That's with the decks cut off. She'd been covered and the bar was in the hold there. Lord Goodhart paid me out of his own pocket to do the conversion work, and he must have had a lot of money involved in the Historic Warships Museum. That's the old XR Ford I Sierra that tried ramming my caravan into the dock. One who shall remain nameless. Big Bob. Boys will be boys. U534 again. Planet Lightship. LCT 7074. Another pontoon, and A bit of a clue there, these are all airbags that were put in some of the worst tanks. Now I had a massive amount of these, and I was going to, well, I did buy a ship that we were going to try and refloat, but due to Christiani's going bust and owing me $250,000, that game was out. There's old Benji on the footplate, no doubt looking for a pub whenever he could find one and scrounge Chris or anything else. And there's the old bulldog shear we designed. This one shows some add-ons that we did to stop the nuts coming undone. Fantastically successful shear, but operator abuse, just pretty infuriating. These are tanks that have been cut in half for transportation, newer ones. And there's a view up the site there, the old 40-ton NCK crawler. This is the stage which is actually on the water there, and as you can see, pontoons with the tops cut out. Next job will be to lift a section onto the dock, cut one off, cut one off, cut one off. Pretty dirty work, but it's a bit like mountain climbing. If it's there, get it under your belt. You've only got one go at this game. And there she is, the old Sarsia. She was a survey ship, and was in the middle of being converted into a sort of floating cat house come casino. And as I said, I had all the flotation bags. Maybe got the bow up first, go from there, but with the funds running out with Christiani's going bust, that was the end of that planning and plotting and scheming. There's a hunter-killer there. She was in the Falklands conflict, blew the engine in bits I think on the way down. HMS Onyx, HMS Plymouth, where the Argentines surrendered, and I think Bronington, the minesweeper's about there. She was in Manchester, but that looks like she was there. Planet Lightship. And I can't see Bronington on there. LCT 7074. A shot of the deck of the Hunter-Killer. And it was a fair attraction. There's my old Springer Spaniel. Just smashed my telly. A new arrival last year now. Max, pure white. Really knocking on a bit now. And this recommended in the top 10. Bit of turbo CAD stuff. Things went awry when I was a bit younger. HMP Newhall, which, although it were a prison, was more like a concentration camp if you ask me. And a few people I met along the way. Free software, excellent stuff. Can't do without it. Active search results. If you're active, they're ranking you. Don't particularly matter what you're doing, but get active. It's like they say, it's like going into a shop and seeing loads of staff waiting to serve you. Well, if somebody's there. And pretty sad, the landfall. And Judd Evans, the guy who used to own it when she was a nightclub, always been around, always been interested, trying to save the old boat. That's her with the top cut off, and we'd done her. And I think she held 8 Sherman tanks. Pretty sad really that they couldn't just get a few quid together. Lord Goodhart bought 4 pontoons to put under her. I got a naval architect to do a design, but obviously I think he was financing everything himself. My old man suggested I do it for nothing, but hey, in the commercial world, and people to pay, if I could have done it for nothing I would have done. So, bit of Demolition Diaries. What else are you gonna do?